definitely wasn't how I got pregnant. But I think the mother, she little out to her though. She should know she please, right?
But what do you have? A mother-in-law or a monster-in-law?
Uh, so let's just say that my mother-in-law was very happy for 25 years until she met me. Nevertheless, I'm just kidding. So at this point, I don't know whether I have a mother-in-law, a monster-in-law, or a mom-in-law. I'm still assessing the situation because sometimes she's a mother-in-law and it's so nice, you know. She treats me very well, and then all the time I feel like she's a mom-in-law. But what I will say is that everyone needs to set boundaries in their marriages and certain things just to let the mother-in-law know her place so she doesn't overstep and then it kind of cause a rift in your relationship. That's how I feel about my mother-in-law right now. So I'm still on the surface of who she really is to me.
Well, if I could, you know, say what I have,
Please do.
well, I would say my mother-in-law, she loves her son. She also loves her granddaughter. Hi, Jonique.
What about you?
I think she likes me.
You
But
think?
she likes me. But the situation is the love, the overwhelming love she has for her son. You know, people say you believe the dirt somebody walk on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that is the issue I have. So everything her son does, he is right. And even if he does something wrong,
He's right.
he's still right. At least that's how I get it, right? Because I remember this one time we had a major disagreement, right? And he did something wrong. His sisters agree with me that he was wrong. But like the next morning, mommy turned up at the house 6 a.m. Right? And I thought she came, like, I was shocked that she was there so early. But I thought she came to, like, talk to her son. The lady walked in the room and said, Svetlana, I think you should ask Jude for forgiveness.
Okay then.
You know, yeah, it's a nice couple, but you should really ask me for forgiveness. Like, I'm thinking, your son just did me wrong, and I'm the one must have to ask for forgiveness.
Right.
Well, you know, I was very respectful in my response. I said, you know what? My mom speaks to me, and she could talk to me. You should talk to your son, and not necessarily me. On a serious note, because I believe a mother-in-law should also, I'm now her daughter. And
Right.
while she's very nice to me, she looks after my daughter. I think she has our relation interest at heart. When it comes to Jude, my husband, it's like I'm the one who always got to put in that extra work. Like I'm not doing enough. And if he misbehaves, she would say, Svetlana. Well, she doesn't call me Svetlana. She calls me Svetlana, right? Svetlana. Must tell Jude not drink. You know he living a good. I mean, and there is Jude. Tell him he shouldn't drink. Consume a
Right.
lot of alcohol.
He's
You
your
understand?
son.
But yeah, she's a nice woman. I get lovely fruits from her. And she takes good care of my daughter when I'm not around. But I think I must be comfortable enough to go to her and get some
Right.
sort of
A dialogue,
satisfaction.
yeah.
Okay, Chanelli.
Well, for me, let me tell you first about what I believe a mother-in-law should be, because I think that at some point we all have our own assumption of who we want these
People to be.
mothers to be to us. So I think a mother-in-law should be a mother. What do I mean when I say that?
That's true.
I mean that she must be able to fill the gap should your mother be absent.
Right.
No. If I have to come to you to talk about something, whether it be in relation to your son or just
Just
some
talk.
General,
woman to
yeah.
woman something, I must be able to understand that you're talking to me from a neutral point of view. and not that um, not that you are being biased in any way. So that is one thing. Now, what do I have? I have.
We're
I'm
sure
gonna
you
drink
tell
for
us.
this. I'm gonna drink.
We won't tell anyone.
Yeah, Nelly.
I have a law.
Okay then. What type of law?
What, and this, I don't mean this in any bad way. What I mean is that we don't have that big chummy mother to daughter. We could talk about anything. You know, if I feel like I need a shoulder to cry on, I could come to you. It's more or less like tough love, you know?
Right.
You're with my son. I appreciate that. Take good care of him. As long as you do that,
And we'll be fine.
we will have a good relationship. But if you overstep that boundary in any way, as if you harm my son in any way, then I will have a problem with that. I could remember this one time. We were talking, and I was kind of like telling him, anytime you do something that hurts me, I gon' doctor you. And he was like, oh, so it's only man alone could do things. And I took the iron. God forgive me. And I took the iron and rested on his arm.
Oh my.
And he got burned. And you know what he said to me? I can tell me, mother. No. He was like,
Wait,
I
did
am
you do that on
going to-
accident?
It was, to me, like it was accident, yeah, but kind of
didn't
like
mean
I don't really want him to understand that I'm serious about this point that I'm making. So when he said, I can tell me mother on you, you know, like I got so scared because I know this is some serious, I'm about to get it. Now, I'm trying to make this point. After then, this is me. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I am so sorry. Please don't tell your mother. Please don't tell her. So, in that way, we respect each other. You know, we work well. She's a very pushy person, and if you want to get goals achieved, and if you want to do stuff like that,
She'll support
she's
you.
the go-to person for that because she pushes you to that limit. Don't expect to hear oh man, don't worry, you're gonna get through. Hello, get up and get yourself going and do what you got to do, because if you don't move, you ain't
won't
gonna get
get things
anything
done.
done. So
She's like
that kind of person she's like. But we're good though, we're good. Even though, you know, I understand her, and that's the principle of having a good relationship with somebody. As long as you understand what type of person they are, and you understand how to work around their personality meshing with your personality, then you have no problem.
I've had a monster-in-law, but I think the mothers-in-law that I've had would have outweighed her.
But you got plenty. Just kidding.
Well, as you guys can tell, I'm very loving. Y'all know y'all love me, right?
Me too.
I think-
Okay.
I think that even though I may have my challenges in the kitchen, trust me, I make up for it. So
What do you mean when
The
you say
mother-
challenges?
I just go in the kitchen when my mother-in-law is in the kitchen. I would go in the kitchen, Mom, you need help?
She's the
Yes,
cut up.
and I would cut up.
I was
The
just
wash
about to
wears
say.
girl.
She's the cut up girl.
So when I'm in the kitchen, she has the dirty wares there. I'm looking after the dishes, making sure that the kitchen is well kept and so on. And she's,
Sweeping.
you know, stirring the pot, putting in the seasoning and so on. If she wants, I can pass the seasoning and all for her. Right? But I've had pretty good mothers-in-law. Very rare. I've had probably I can't even. I'm sitting here trying to remember who I had that was. If I had a bad mother-in-law, I think I would have known. I don't have a bad.
So how do you rate them?
All right. So the one from So.
From
Round the
I'm confused.
The one from where Chanel and I used to work, I would give her a number 9 out of a 10.
Why?
I think it was 2 of them. 1 a 10 and 1 a 9.
Okay.
The one from Linden, we never had, she was a more elderly person, probably within her 60s, early 60s. Right? We never had that bond. She basically works all the time. We hardly used to see. When I used to visit, she never used to be home and so on. So we never had
You
that
used to sneak in.
connection or anything.
Where she
No.
used to visit.
So we never had that connection. So I would say I've had pretty good experiences with my mothers-in-law, and we still do have a good relationship. The other day, I had a debt, and
She reached out.
my mother-in-law daughter
Your
died.
ex-mother-in-law.
My ex-mother-in-law daughter, she died, and it really hit home. I felt as if
You were still
it
part of
was
the
my
family.
sister and so on. And she called and she was like, Colleen, take it easy. She was checking on me to make sure that
When
I'm
you
okay.
were supposed to check
the other way
on
around.
the woman for losing her
I
daughter.
did call her, right? But I have pretty good, I have and still have pretty good mothers-in-law.
And I must admit that I would have, well, from my husband, he prefers to deal with things as a couple. And sometimes I feel like my message wouldn't hit home if I don't get like his mother or his sister involved to talk to him. But I could see also where that affects the relationship, because not everything you should run to the mother, my mother, his sister to complain. But
with
there's
it
also a
internal.
flip side to it where you bottle up everything and you pretend those issues do not exist. So it depends. I think it has to be done in moderation, as against everything you run and you complain about. So for me, that's how I feel, because I must be able to speak to somebody, and not necessarily any friend. I prefer to speak to his relative to explain to them what is going on, or whatever is the issue. I don't go to my mother all the time because my mother is strict, and I'm her daughter, so she'll get emotional, or how parents are. But I believe that there is a point in time where you must be able to go to somebody and speak, as against if it can't be worked out, because pretending that an issue doesn't exist and then you move into marriage with that issue,
It will affect
it will affect the marriage.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
That's true.
If I could interject here, for me, I truly believe that involving in-laws, I don't see the need in having them there, because I think it creates a gateway for them to constantly place themselves in the middle of your marriage or your relationship. The way I would see it is that you both find somebody that you can speak to who will be neutral in every situation, not
Right.
take sides. Because what you find happening with in-laws, not only the male or the female side, you will find that both of them will feel, oh, this is my child, so I need to support them or
Right.
take their side. So for me, that's why I think
Neutral.
you
Counseling.
talk to in-laws, but you must know where your boundary
Yeah.
line is. It's going to affect you one time or the other. Sometime later down, it's going to pop up in your relationship, and then at one point you realize you and your spouse ain't even having a problem, because the two of you would have forgiven each other.
Yeah.
But these
on.
Somebody
in-laws
remember
goes
it.
on to
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So for me, I truly believe in setting boundaries, letting them know, all right,
Yeah.
we have our issues. Thank you for being concerned, but we don't
Yeah.
need you to be in the middle. Let's find somebody that's neutral. That's how I see the
Yeah.
situation. I mean, I've seen it, I've experienced it, and that's how I think most couples should go. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody
It's best
has
if you
what
could
works
just
for them,
work
but
it out yourself among
Yeah.
yourself,
if
between
you
yourself.
can't work it among yourself, find somebody that's neutral. Having families involved, they're going to take sides because we're related.
Right.
It always ends up that way. And
That's
the
true.
hardest part is when you have already moved on from that situation
Somebody brings it
and
up.
they constantly remind you about it. That's not being able to move forward. That's pulling you 10 steps back.
Right, right.
All right, so there you
But-
have it. We have spoken to you today about what do you have? A mother-in-law, a monster-in-law, or a mom-in-law? So
Or a
while
law.
or a law. So while we leave you to ponder on that, I want you to remember to subscribe to our channel, click the bell so that every time we come on, you can get a notification, and be very anxious for our next topic. What I can tell you is that it will be very enjoyable. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.